People do need to get involved in the process of peace building, but ultimately it is left to the country's politicians to deliver a political settlement to Sri Lanka's communities. In this context, devolution of power has been a hotly debated topic in recent years. During the war, a political settlement was deemed urgent and necessary in order to prevent escalated conflict. But peace talks were always unfruitful. Now that the LTTE has been defeated, however, there is a new debate on the table. Is a political solution needed at all? And if so, is devolution the only answer? For many reasons, today the discourse on devolution has virtually come to a standstill, and there are those who feel that it is now time to look at other aspects of the political solution. Take a look. In recent years, discussions on achieving a political settlement to the conflict have been dominated by the concept of devolution. This seminar, however, aimed to look beyond the usual devolution debate and instead at other possible means of achieving equality for all sections of society. Organized by the National Peace Council, the seminar consisted predominantly of presentations by 4 prominent politicians. Although the theme of the seminar asked for suggestions for non-devolutionary constitutional reforms, most of the speakers tellingly stuck to the devolution versus non-devolution debate. Despite being the only speaker against devolution, Udaya Gammanpilla still acknowledged the need to talk with members of the minority community and look towards reaching a common agreement.
10 years ago, in this kind of fora, we were the minority. My party, who believed in defeating the military separatist force with military means, defeating the federalist movement, was the minority. 99%, irrespective of the ethnicity, 99% of the people were against our view. So we have won the battle. So we would like to listen to views of the leaders of the minority community and how best we could accommodate their grievances, aspirations within our constitution in making.
TNA leader R. Sampanthan disagreed with the theme of the seminar altogether, stating that now was the time to really look towards devolution as a means of addressing the grievances of the Tamil people. Repeatedly quoting President Rajapaksa's promises of meaningful devolution, he pledged the support of the entire minority community to that end.
It's my view that the struggle and the campaign for effective, meaningful devolution, effective, meaningful sharing of power between the different peoples who inhabit this country must continue, must be strengthened, and must be pursued with much more vigor than before.
Sampanthan's sentiment was echoed by SLMC Deputy Leader Nizam Kariappar, who pointed out that while devolution would not have been possible with the dominance of the LTTE, it is a feasible option now.
In today's context, we are at a junction where the terrorism has been defeated. There is a space for the democratic forces to work, express their views independent of being unduly forced by militants and military groups. So let's make use of this opportunity to see whether democratically we can win the rights of the people. In doing so, we must have a constitution which provides spaces for all democratic forces.
Perhaps the only speaker to stick to the guidelines of the NPC concept paper on non-devolutionary constitutional reform, Karu Jayasuriya spoke of the importance of minimizing discrimination, social injustice and distrust between communities.
So implementing of the 17th amendment, in my view, will create half of the problems that we see today with regard to lawlessness, rule of law, good governance. Because today, in today's context, the appointment of police officers is done by the recommended by electoral organizers of the ruling party. So therefore, you cannot expect an independent police. They have certain obligations to the man or woman who recommends him. And similarly with the public service, we see that independence to a great extent is lost.
In the end, the seminar, which was meant to look outside devolution, ended up largely focused on it. Perhaps a sign that it is not yet time to dismiss devolution as a path to a political settlement and, eventually, peace.
Devolution of power is a very important, key aspect, maybe the most important aspect of a political solution, but it is not the only thing. There are also important issues of shared rule, power sharing at the center, equal rights for Tamil speakers, implementation of the Official Languages Act, proper implementation. These are all non-devolution based political aspects of the political solution. We wanted to generate discussion on that so that even those political parties that are saying no to devolution, we want to find out what are their solutions, which are not based on devolution, but do they have any alternatives or supplements or complements to the devolution of power?